ourselves with the body, with nationality, and with age, and male, female, and what keeps us here, covered by the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, and which allow us to do different activities in goodness, passion, and ignorance. I've heard recently Prabhupada saying that uh, even activities, sinister activities, uh, or sinister condition in ignorance are still somehow or other auspicious because they come from Krishna. It's quite difficult, amazing to understand. But we know very well that um, the way to get out of this material nature um, is to remain in the mode of ignorance. Ignorance means sleep and eat. Eat and sleep, this is symptoms of ignorance. We go further from Krishna, and more we raise ourselves from the modes of material nature to passion and to goodness, then our chances to transcend this material nature are greater. Mode of goodness can be compared to an airport. If you want to take a flight from Paris to New Delhi, you have more chances to reach New Delhi if you go to CDG, Charles de Gaulle Airport, than to just stay in here in Lucé-le-Mal, or So goodness can help us transcend this material nature. It is the way to raise above material nature. So the lives of the devotees are ruled by goodness normally. But as Prabhupada used to say, goodness can be tinged with passion and ignorance. So we have to be transcendental to this material nature if you want to go back to understand Krishna, to raise above the modes of material nature. And that's why the four regulative principles, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication, are necessary because these are activities in passion and ignorance. And being normally the devotees, I just speak out of inspiration. Normally the devotees are aloof from actually Kali Yuga, there's what's saying Ashur Kali Ashritya Brahma Janma Yonishu. Like the demons, they take advantage of the age of Kali by taking birth in the wombs of the Brahmanas. Brahmanas are supposed to be in goodness. We can see, for example, when I have a good friend whose name is Bhakta John, maybe you know him. He used to live in Kerala. And he told me at that time the so-called Brahmins of the temple, and if there was a Shudrani lady crossing a Brahmana, she should then go on her knees and show her breast. That's what the standard. And they used to also to have those dasis, these ladies were dancing girls in the temples, but they found themselves very quickly having a child. So there's also this sati rite. Actually, sati rite, right? Ritual. Actually, I'm reading in my room. I'm reading the story of the unfortunate of Daksha, who has offended Lord Shiva by due to envy, by insulting him in a yagya, in an assembly of Brahmins and elevated demigods like Brigu Muni and this and that. And somehow or other, when Daksha came in the assembly, as you know, everybody stood up except Brahma, which is the father of Daksha, actually, and Shiva. Shiva, who is the husband of the daughter of Daksha, whose name is Parvati, yeah, Sati, Parvati. Yeah. And due to envy, simply envy, Daksha became very, very nasty in his words, insulting Shiva. And a bit later, a bit later, he made this yagya where he didn't invite Lord Shiva or Sati. He didn't invite them, but on the pretense that is supposed to be female nature, ladies' nature, you know. They like to join with their sister, their mother, you know. Due to she invoked this reason to go to her father's house. Actually, her daughter is allowed to go to her father's house, isn't it? Lochan, your daughter, she can go to your room. She, on the pretense of wanting to meet with her family, she disobeyed. She disobeyed Lord Shiva by going. Although Shiva told her, if you go there, you will have problems. It will not be good. But she didn't answer. Actually, Prabhupada explained the purport that actually the deep reason why she wanted to go there is that she wanted to nullify the offense done by Daksha, that she could be able to clear the way, the path between Daksha and Shiva. But actually she did not succeed because Daksha didn't even, he was a very, very hard-hearted person. Imagine that, I spare the details, but actually Parvati, she committed suicide in front of her father, and her father didn't do anything to prevent her. So it means Daksha had a very, very hard heart. Imagine, if someone does something like this, you know, you try to prevent him to give up his body like this. But eventually she didn't want to have any connection with this person, and she committed suicide. She by creating a blazing fire, she left her body. And then she took birth again as the daughter of Himalayas. So all this to say also, we can see in the scriptures that how much Shiva is an exalted personality. We call him Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. That Shiva is the most exalted and most pure personality we can imagine. Very benevolent, and it's called also Achyuta. Achyuta means Ashutosh. Achyuta means infallible. That means that you can be very easily made hungry, angry, and you can be very easily pleased. Actually, there is little incidents I can tell, because I have been quite regularly in the former years in Bangladesh, in Dhaka. And it's very, very funny that still that is the law in Bangladesh, that the propriety where a landlord wanted to give to ISKCON at one condition, that the worship of Lord Shiva should be maintained. Actually, according to imagine, although they are supposed to be Muslim country, actually this property, according to the law of Bangladesh, belongs to Lord Shiva. Amazing, huh?
Most major temples, the deity owns the temple.
Yeah.
Property.
Yeah, it's amazing, you know. He was a very nice person, actually, very good singer. He died now. The landlord. So he wanted to give this property to ISKCON, very central place in Dhaka, but at one condition, that the worship of Lord Shiva should be maintained. So they talk to the GBC devotees, says, never, we are not demigod worshippers, we are not interested. But then Jayapataka Maharaj, he said, of course, we shall continue the worship of Lord Shiva and we shall take the property. So finally it was final decision. We get this property, it's called Swami Bag. Swami Bag means the garden of the sages. The garden of formerly in the beginning, it was so dirty with people who were existing there, rats, and the devotees, they make a big cleanup. And in the former years, we had flowers on the place. There was nice mango trees, amgats, It was very pleasant. But gradually, the devotees have invested, and now it is more like much concrete. And they are building a new temple. It's a huge nine-story building, and I call it Tilak Mandir because they have made of cement, they made big tilaks on the buildings, and now there are also buildings for the guests. It's another building they call Nath Mandir. Nath Mandir, the official mandir they are creating, but it will be. That's a bit. It's difficult to have any perfection. It will be most concrete everywhere. The trees have been cut. It's like that. All that to say, yeah. That, but it's very beautiful place. It will be. I hope so. All that to say that Krishna, therefore, he has two bewildering energies, Yoga Maya, Mahamaya. So, Mother Yashoda, of course, she is under Yoga Maya. That although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she just considers him as a small child, loving baby, holding him by the hands, and that's it. So recently, I've been hearing about. Prabhupada was telling you should hear this. It was a speech spoken by Vivekananda in Chicago. His famous speech, And that's what I've understood in essence. Vivekananda is saying that ultimately God is impersonal. He has no form. But some people who are a bit weak-hearted, they need some support to reach God. So they use a cross or the forms of God. But these are simply supports. But ultimately, God is impersonal. And we should not be aggrieved or disrespect those persons who takes support due to maybe some weakness or incapacities to reach God by these supports, like deities or. And Prabhupada is simply saying this is pure rascaldom. He's being very loving, but Prabhupada's opinion is that God is not impersonal, and we can see, what more can we do when we hear about Krishna, which with Mother Yashoda, which is holding Krishna by holding his hands, If God is impersonal, how can she hold his hand, or how can the deities exist, or so we know by Prabhupada's mercy and his adamant always to present the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not as that the ultimate truth is a person. And that's very basic. And we can see in all our books, on all this Vedic knowledge, you know, if God is how can he be less than his creation? If we are person, we have arms, feet, legs, and even the other scriptures, you know, Christian scriptures say that God created man at his image, and even the Muslims, you know, Prabhupada says, I heard Christians and Muslims are Vaishnavas because ultimately they will be raised, will be raised to pure devotion, you know. So that's where we are, and okay, we can see actually all the what Prabhupada has presented, which are supposed to be law books for 10,000 years, you know, it becomes revealed that he's right. Myself, you know, I mean, when I wake up morning, I like to listen to Srila Prabhupada. It's very appeasing and it's very up to date, you know. We can see, starting with comment? Jivo, Jiva Servine, no, not this one. What is this verse? You know? No, the one who says Krishna, he who sees an elephant, dog eater. How does it start? Vidya Vinaya Sampane, Brahmane Gavyastini, Sunicheva Swapakecha, Pandita Samadarshina. The humble sage, which is enlightened with pure knowledge, sees with an equal vision Samadarshina, the elephant, the dog eater, the Brahmin, and the elephant. So that is the. But do we see? Do we see each other as souls or as bodies? You know, to be enlightened. But that's the real vision. You know, the real. You know, even Sanatana Goswami. You know, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after many peregrinations, Sanatana Goswami, as you know, was a financial minister of Nawab Hussain Saha. Nawab. And somehow this Nawab, he wanted to attack the king of the Jagannath Puri. So Sanatana Goswami, he was at heart Hindu. I mean, he was a lover of Jagannath, and he couldn't tolerate to go and participate to attack his beloved deity, you know. So somehow there he pretends to be sick, and he just, rather than to take part of the business of the government, he was actually, like we are doing now, he was reading Srimad Bhagavatam at his house, and so I will tell you the story, it's okay. So Nawab Hussain Saha, he sent like a messenger to see what was the condition of this Sanatana Goswami, Dabir Kash, Sakar Malik, one or the other. Huh? And he could see he was just not sick at all. So he offered him to come back to fulfill his responsibilities in the government. But Sanatana Goswami was adamant, he didn't want to. He cancelled his job. And as a result, he was put into jail. As you know the story, I'm repeating that which everybody knows. Because he was a diplomat, you know, he's a political man, so he knew what to manipulate the minds of others. You know, he was very intelligent actually. The Birkash, Sakar Malik. He was actually from Brahmin families, but he has been forced to accept Muslim Dharma under very serious social pressure. He could not. It was accept the post of minister or we shall kill your family. It was about this. So he could sue. Everybody's sleeping. He could sue the jailkeeper and tell him, now, you know, my dear jailkeeper, I am a man of God. I want to go on the path to join with Allah. I want to be a, 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 a true servant of Allah. If you release me from the jail, you will make a big benefit, spiritual benefit, because you have released someone who wants to approach the. Please take me out from this jail. But the jailkeeper it was not enough for him. Then these two brothers, Sanatan and Rupa Goswami, they had saved some funds of money, one half for the family and for them. So he stacked so much money for and he presented this to the jailkeeper, telling him, okay, if you take this money, please release me. Then it was very good deal, And then he accepted. He said, you will tell the officials that if the son, this Dabir Kashi went to the toilets in the Ganges, then he don't, he disappeared. So that's how he was released from the jail, and he went with his nephew, whose name is, you remember? Huh? Santosh's nephew. Actually, I'll make it short because you know this already. So on the way, he got a very nice blanket from another uncle. And then he reached a hotel, and there is one Bengali saying it is that Oti Bhakti Shure Lokon. The Bengali should be there, they will understand. Oti Bhakti Shure Lokon. You understand, Lakshana? Oti Bhakti means too much devotion. Chur is a sign of a thief. So So he arrived at this hotel, and the hotel keeper was so polite, so like honey, And Sanatana Goswami could see this is not normal behavior towards us. It's too much. Oti Bhakti is too much polite. It's a sign of this man. He must be a thief. Then he asked his nephew, "Did you bring some money with you?" And the nephew said, "Yes, I bring 7 gold coins with me." And he said, "Why did you bring death with you?" So Sanatana Goswami, he offered these 7 coins, golden coins, to the hotel keeper, And then the hotel keeper said to him, "Thank you because you saved me, because I have an astrologer who told me that you were having this coin with you, and I was about to kill you to take this money from you. So thank you to save me from such a great sinful activities." Still, this boy, he had still another coins. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami sent back. So one interesting fact, one devotee whose name is Mahavishnu Swami, of course, with a hat and Jagannath, and the descendants of this hotel keeper, what do? If you go to Bengal or Bangladesh, Bengal maybe not, there will be you will see written on the boats, for example, Aporischito loker dewa kichu kabenna. You understand? Aporischito means Aporischito loker the unknown people, someone you don't know, Aporischito loker dewa kichu kabenna. Don't eat someone which has been given to you by someone which is unknown to you, by a foreigner, a stranger. Don't eat food which is offered to you by someone you don't know. And the descendants of this hotel, that's their job now. For example, they take a dab, dab, this coconut, they instill some poison, also some make you sleep, and then they give you this coconut, you drink the coconut, you fall asleep, and they rub you. That's their job. And there is one devotee which is actually is number 1 in Bangladesh. His name is Charu Chandra. He's on the list for sannyas actually. It has happened to him. He woke up 3 days later, like that. This devotee, he used to travel in bus, Bengali bus, Bengali roads, And that's how he could sleep very nicely at night, travel like that. Another devotee also is doing this, but by sleeping, on the chair, he broke his neck, He's very, very, very disturbed now. Very diminished, he has to get some operation, Anyway, so after that, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached, when Sanatana Goswami reached Kashi, Benares, the old story, very beautiful story. I repeat it so many times. Finally, he met with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there is a famous discussion between Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sanatana Goswami says, Ke ami? Who am I? Kene amaye jareta patraya. Why the three causes of suffering are always bouncing on me? Suffering coming from the mind and the body, suffering coming from other people, and suffering coming from from natural catastrophe. Why am I always subjected to all this suffering? And on top of this, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. So what is the value of my life? I don't know who I am, and I don't know what. And we heard many times, even Prabhupada, he had many encounters with journalists. They said, with this journalist, she would say to Prabhupada, what is Krishna consciousness? Where Krishna consciousness starts? And Prabhupada would have answered, he says, when you question yourself, why am I suffering? Animals, they don't question, they just suffer and they don't question. But human life is meant to question, why do I suffer? Why? What happens? What is the cause? Question suffering and put and human life. Prabhupada used to say, scientists, they don't even challenge all these sufferings, causes of suffering. They accept it, but human life should be, why should I suffer? Why? We see people, they want to become famous. Why do people want that their name be remained generation after generation? Because by nature we are eternal. The soul is eternal. So why should be restricted to this body? But the entire human society is identifying with the body, isn't it? I am Russian. We shall save America. We shall make America again.
Great again.
Yeah, but this is illusion. Even the Prabhupada used to talk about Hitler, Adolf Hitler. They said this man actually he made a mess in the whole world just for sense gratification, because that was his goal ultimately. So and there is the formula for peace actually. Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvalokabhasam Suridam Sarvabhutanam Yadramam Samti Bharistati. He who knows that Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam, I am actually the beneficiary of all the activities of man, of everybody. We do it, we know it or not, ultimately all the benefits of our action, they goes to Krishna. Sarvalokama Ishvaram, that I am the proprietor of all the universe, all the planet. Suridam Sarvabhutanam, and I am the best friend of everyone. And he who knows this, he reaches peace, he attains peace. So if the world accepts this, it is the formula for peace. People don't have any more reason to fight for a land or because ultimately everything belongs to Krishna. Nityo Nityanam Chaitana Chitananam Eko Bhavanam Yukta. We are eternal, Krishna is eternal. We have consciousness, he has consciousness, but one is supplying to the needs of everyone else. So this Supreme Lord is appear like a baby, like a child, holding the hand of his mother, being scared by his mother when she shows the stick. These are the activities of Krishna, which Janma karma, chame divyam, evanuveti tagdvata. He will understand the transcendental nature of my birth and my activities does not have to take birth again. He, leaving his body, he comes back to my spiritual nature, to my kingdom. So this will be a very beautiful story that Prabhupada he translated practically on his deathbed, I heard. It was at the verge of death. He had practically only bones and skins, a bag of bones, and still he was translating, wake up more early in the morning, and it was with pure consciousness, this knowledge. It's inconceivable, huh? The Prabhupada is above, he cannot be caught in the frame, he's beyond the frame, As what he did, that it's actually it's very interesting to hear, and we shall stop, 7:45 we stop. This, how you recognize someone which is really loved by God, that God loves him. It's in relation with the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj. He who loves, whom the Lord loves him, he can accomplish supernatural acts, something which is beyond what any normal person could do, And we can see what Prabhupada accomplished is beyond normal, You can see at 72 now, it's not so easy to do something. I know how we create this International Society for Krishna Consciousness and translated so many, all this Vedic knowledge and raised thousands of disciples, and it's beyond the frame, it's incomprehensible for the common man, It means he's a very beloved of Lord Krishna. And I would finish with this, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't want to touch or to come in contact with, what's his name? Huh? It was in Jagannath Puri, the king of Puri.
Oh yeah. Pratap.
He didn't want to come in contact because according to the Vedic standards, sannyasi, they don't approach kings, which are people of money and women and this. So he was adamant not to approach them. But the king was so desired to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that the devotees told him, you just wear simple Vaishnav cloth, and when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come after the Ratha Yatra, take rest in such garden, you introduce yourself. So this happened, Mahaprabhu was taking rest, and King Prataparada approached and massaged his feet. And what was he singing while massaging? Tam Taktivanam Chudidivanti. So say it is coming from the Gita, Gopi Gita. It's saying that what the most munificent person is him which is spreading knowledge about Lord Krishna all around the world. And this was so told by the Gopi 5,000 years ago. And when Mahaprabhu heard that, although he knew this king was untouchable for him, he jumped and he embraced him. You are telling the truth. So somehow or other, the Gopis 5,000 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago, were predicting the upcoming of who? Huh? Who is this person which is spreading knowledge about Krishna all around the world? Prabhupada. Yeah. So this Prabhupada mercy, is unconceivable also. Is the most munificent person according to the highest authorities. And this spreading this Krishna consciousness is the best benevolent activity which can be done for the living entities. Thank you. You have something to add?
Sorry, I said it was Santosh. No, it was not Santosh. Santosh is the one cousin, he gives him blanket. But Ishan was his servant.
Ishan. He knows everything. Okay.
That's when he reaches Benares and Lord Chaitanya sees the blanket and
Oh yeah,
I have attached to this.
yeah. Oh, this one, something to do with Ishan, the blanket?
Yeah, Ishan is gone. He took the coin and he left.
Yeah.
Santosh is his nephew or cousin. He gives him a blanket.
Yeah.
He was
Oh, he
traveling.
knows everything, yeah. And what happened in Benares, Chaitanya Prabhu was looking this, what is this blanket? It's so beautiful. That he went to, they call it a fakir. Come a poor Muslim, they make, how do you call this? When you take old rags and you sew them together, huh? Patchwork. And he made a blanket like this, but very poor, And Sanatana Goswami wanted to exchange. And the Muslim said, oh, what are you doing? You want to make fun of a poor man like me? But Sanatana Goswami was very adamant. They changed the blankets. And then Chaitanya Prabhu saw that, he said, he could see satisfaction in the eyes of Chaitanya Prabhu. And he says, Mahaprabhu is like a good surgeon. When you have a white leper, you don't just clean, you clean all around. You take a good gap, so the leper will not come back. As a best surgeon, best doctor, Chaitanya Prabhu. May we get this mercy, Chaitanya Prabhu, that he cares for us. Thank you. Something to add? That's okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and giving class.
Thank you.
Ice outside.
You know everything.
Are we still worshipping Lord Shiva in this temple?
Yeah, of course. There is a very beautiful deity, and when I don't know how many devotees. There's no lacking of manpower there. There are so many. Maybe I don't know how many devotees take care all day long. It's very beautiful deity. Yeah, that was the deal. Srimad Granthala, Srimad Bhagavatam.